Bring it down. All right. The late, great. Let me bring this in. The late, great Ronnie James Dio. And that dude, let me tell you a story. Quick story. I watched Ronnie James Dio. Pardon me. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat. I watched Ronnie James Dio in the mid to late 90s on some tickets that I won, actually on a radio show. I don't know why I called into it, but I did. And I won tickets to it. And I went to the show. You know what? I probably don't need these. I can probably read your chat, and I'm catching a glare actually off my glasses. I won the tickets. That's why I went. Iron Maiden, without their original lead singer, opened up, and musically fantastic. The lead singer, not memorable, but did a fine job. Dio headlined that show, and Ronnie James Dio at the time must have been like in his mid 60s. I'm not even joking. This guy has been around forever. The dude could sing exactly like you heard him in that song that was recorded back when they recorded it, which was probably what, early 80s, something like that. The dude could wail. I did not expect that. And even though at the time I was not a Dio fan, because it was in the 80s, there was a lot of satanic undertone. PMRC was coming out against all bands and all that kind of stuff. But the guy could sing his fool head off live. He did not need a lot of help in the mixing room, if you get what I'm saying. The guy, I definitely need my glasses to see the chat. I'm going to tell you that. Giving my eyes a break today. I have extended wear contacts, and anytime I switch them out, I give myself a day or two break from replacing my contacts, just because it feels, I don't know, it feels like a healthy thing to do. So I do that. So I put them on here for a second just to read the chat. I can see things up close very, very well. Away, far away, not so much. Although I will say that my eyesight has not changed in about 20 years. It's been the same. And it's the same in both eyes, which is very strange. A lot of people have different, whatever you call that, degrees of seeing in both eyes. So that's one nice thing I have, is that I can switch my contacts from either eye, and it's identical, which is cool. I like it. How are you guys doing? I'm glad you're here. Good to see you all. But there's a new name you don't see every day. HIV positive transgender. At Didi, what this here show about? This one of them shows about the Satanists in them forest. Expound. I'm interested in your question. But at any rate, HIV positive transgender, welcome. Robert Wallace, Didi, Ralph Deem, Erndog, Tracy Adams, Enlightened Jess. If I missed you, let me know. Thanks for coming, guys. Fantastic. You all are here. You guys are all talking. You're all chatting up. Fantastic to see you. I'm glad you did. And I'm just curious how you come up with a name like that, HIV positive transgender. I mean, that really feels like it requires some thought. And expound. Hey, Chris Coon. KK. Chris Coon. I don't know if I want to call you Chris Coon or if I want to call you KK. I like them both. I understand a few of you had some electrical issues last night and you could not be into the live stream. Hey, Joe Mama 02. Joe Mama is here. Say hello to Joe Mama. Just getting started, Joe Mama. And also, Jess, we're just getting started. And Lane Jess says, Chris Coon is fun to say. It is. I like it. Chris Coon. I don't know. You got one of those names? Yeah, I'm getting a lot of support. It is. People love the name Chris Coon. It flows like a river. And I need my friend over here to help me. So would you turn to scripture? Oh, wait. No, this is my notepad. Never mind. We're good. We won't be doing any of that tonight. HIV positive transgender. Nah, I ain't trolling. Just trying to keep tabs on them there at the Vatican. They rolling out them new robot priest real soon. This is right field. Yeah, this is my right. This is my left. That's definitely left field. Okay. HIV positive transgender, that is left field. You're coming out of left field. So, with that said, proceed, person. Oh, shoot. Well, I guess if you ain't offending somebody, you ain't doing it right, right? I suppose. So, before I go into what I wanted to talk about tonight, I want to tell you about a cute little story that can only happen when you've been married 25 years. Maybe it could happen after you're married 15 years or 10 years or 3 years. But this just so happened to happen after you've been married 25 years. So the wife, who you all know, Shawnee, was driving today, and in the back seat on the floor, not the back seat, but in the back of the car on the floor was one of them big, humongous pickle jars. And it was empty. Okay. And it was just one of those things that I forgot to take to the recycling center, and it just got left back there on the floor. She was driving today, and apparently from the heat of the sun over the last week or two hitting it, it just cracked on her and it flipped her out. And she was like, what the hell is that? So yada, yada, yada. She texted me and I said, okay, babe, when you get home, I'll take the car up and get it cleaned out, because it's my faux pas, right? My mistake completely. Forgot to take it out of there with everything else. So I go up to this place where they got free vacuums, because it seems like any place that you can ever get your car cleaned out, or washed, I should say, you can use their vacuums for free. At least there's a few places in town here that happens. So I, pick up the glass and I'm, taking care of it. And I get all the glass out and I hit the vacuum, burn. I'm vacuuming and I get the back floorboards and everything. And I'm like, I'm here. I'm just gonna vacuum the car. Man, I go on the other side. Man. And I get into the front seat, man, and I get in the passenger front seat, man. I'm going under, thump, and I'm like, thump. I'm like, what the fuck? And I pull it out, and there's pantyhose, like pantyhose, like you women know what I'm talking about. And they were under the passenger side front frickin' seat. So I'm like, I'm wrestling with this thing. And I get that some bitch off there. And now, I've got some thoughts going through my head. Like, the hell was that? Yeah. These are definitely pantyhose, and they are certainly shoved under the front seat. So I'm starting to, how a guy's mind starts going, like, it goes a lot like this. A lot like Boomhauer from from the show. And I'm just letting my mind go nuts, but I'm thinking there must be a good explanation for this. However, what that very small mind in the back of my head was trying to relate to me wasn't getting through. And I'm like driving home like this. Mean. It wasn't that bad. I'm serious. But I'm like, okay. Um, Bill, there must be an explanation for this. There must be. There's got to be something. And to be honest, none of the scenarios that are coming to my mind for how this could be a good thing are good. They're coming to my mind, and there's no good outcome to why this just happened. I get home, I pull in the garage, I walk in the door. She's like, "Oh, hey, how you doing? It took you a little longer than I thought it would take you because I was going to run up to the store, but I was going to clean out the car." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Uh huh, yeah, yeah." And she goes, she goes, she's been married to me for 25 years. So she knows that when I don't come in doing cartwheels and back handsprings and yada yada, it's me, Bill. She knows that something's wrong, and she goes, "Is everything okay?" And I look at her, my best Clint Eastwood, and I go, "Why don't you go look on the front seat of your car?" I swear to God. And I had worked 80 different scenarios out in my brain at this point, you know. And she looks at me and she goes, "Okay." She goes outside and I'm in here and I'm going, "I got her. I busted you. I got you." And she walks in the door and she's got him in her hand and she's laughing her ass off. And I'm like, "What's so fucking funny?" That's what I said inside. That's not what I said outside. She looks at me, she goes, "You are the biggest dork ever." And I'm like, "Er?" Like, huh? She goes, "These are my pantyhose from Brooke's wedding." My oldest daughter, Brooke, she got married now 2 months ago. You all were here. You all remember it. We went out to the car and my wife was wearing a skirt. It was very hot that day. And she took her pantyhose off so she could go bare-legged into the reception because we'd been in there for a little bit, and she tucked them under the seat. I mean, I'm like, "That's 2 months ago. I can't remember that shit." So, it was much to do about nothing, but it plays into what I wanted to talk about tonight, and it's about overreacting or underreacting as far as life goes. I don't know if it's a lame segue, but it happened tonight. And I'm telling you, my heart ran the gambit because I'm a dude. I mean, I'm like 50% of you guys out here listening. I mean, I find some fucking pantyhose underneath the seat while I'm vacuuming. I ain't remembering that shit from 2 months ago and that you never took them out of there and that kind of stuff. I'm glad I didn't let my mouth say what my head wanted my mouth to say. And I handled it as cool as I could. But it goes to the point of thinking it through. And I think that it was very good that I didn't come in here with a head of steam and be all crazy and yada, yada, yada. I legitimately totally forgot about that. I mean, 8 weeks ago, first of all, I forgot that she like tucked them under the seat. And that's the only opportunity that it ever would have been that way. And it totally came back. And her reaction, laughing and how she was, because even before she went out, she was like, "Okay." Like, "What the hell is this about?" And she comes in and she's, you're with somebody that long, when they're being genuine. Believe me, I was eyeing it up like, I'm gonna see how she reacts to this shit. Because I really thought I was like, yeah, Deputy Dan there. And no, I wasn't. And we had a good laugh about it in hindsight. I mean, when she came in and we thought out the night and everything, and we laughed about it. But I thought about overreacting, underreacting. We all could use a lesson in humility that way. There's no other scenario in life where somebody could find those pantyhose under the seat and have completely forgotten about it and not had it be the 98% worst scenario that could have happened. But as she laughed and talked about it, I understood it. So even when everything's great in your life, believe me, we all have insecurities in our life. We do. That's not a normal thing to find pantyhose under the seat. It's just not as normal as you think that would be. It's not. But it made me think about overreacting, underreacting, which leads into last night, how I talked about getting a reaction out of somebody when they're trying to get a reaction out of you. It was good in that circumstance that I didn't overreact. Now, before I go into treason and sedition, I did see something that uh, I wanted to address simply because of our brother, Robert Nazawa in Hawaii. And it was amazing. And I have to put my glasses on so I can read this because I have it here. Go to BP Earthwatch and take a peek at the drone footage that was shot of Kilauea yesterday. Well, today's the 26th, 27th. No, this was shot on the 24th. A mission on the 24th, 2018, filmed details of the dramatic changes occurring with the name out there in Hawaii is of the crater is Helemu Maluma crater at Kilauea's summit. Since the explosion, and eruptions of ash and gas on the ongoing wall collapse beginning in mid-May, clearly visible are the steep crater walls that continue to slump inward and downward, with ongoing subsidence at Kilauea's summit, which is the peak. The deepest part of Halemaumau is now over 400 meters, or for us in America, 1,300 feet, which is about 9 football fields. Yeah, about 10 football fields. Below the crater rim, so 1,300 feet below the crater rim, there are two obvious flat surfaces with the crater that have slumped downward as nearly intact blocks. The shallower one is the former caldera floor, and the deeper one is the former Halemaumau crater floor. The rest talks about the video footage. You guys, if you ever remember, or if you watch that video that I had put out there and had talked about showing how the symmetrical patterns were going over the crater, this thing has opened up immensely, and it is insane to see this drone footage. So I'm going to simply just leave it at that and invite you to take a look at it. It's about 4 minutes long on BP Earthwatch, and it's stunning how much this has opened up. So let's keep an eye on that. But it was big enough that I wanted to bring it up tonight, and I did. So there's that. By the way, I don't know if any of you know this. There was a new Q drop tonight. There was about 3 different drops tonight. Now I'll get to those. I don't have them broke down quite yet, but I'm working on it, and I'm working on researching it, and that's what we're going to do. But before we do that, let's read the chat for a second. Hey, Jen Manga. Got a new Hawaiian word for us, huh, Robert Nazawa? What is that? Hey, Wolf Girl. Welcome. Man, been a while for you. And I know that you've been watching the videos. I do. Good to see you. Glad you made it for a live stream. Fantastic. I know you guys heard that. Got one creeping up my gullet. You accidentally took a nap today? Well, I understand naps. I intentionally take them, but there's nothing like an accidental nap. Those are maybe sometimes the best naps. All right. So good. You guys are interacting. You guys are having fun. And I love it. Oh, wait a minute. Robert Nizawa says Lopaka in Hawaiian is, what is it? It's, let me get the right mouse. Let's go up. Take a peek. Or have we not revealed it yet? Robert Nizawa. What is it? Lopaka. All right. I'm too anxious to find out what this means. Lopaka. Lopaka Wallace, for example. Is that like my broham? My brother? Robert is Lopaka. What is, I'm lost. Lopaka Lolo. Did I just walk into like a Chinese restaurant? What is going on here? Okay, it's a Hawaiian name. I don't even want to know what my Hawaiian name is. I'm going to leave it at that. You're going to tell me it's something like Dick with ears, aren't you, Robert Nizawa? I know you are. You mess with me, dude. Let's talk about treason. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because I've already spent a lot of time coming out of the gate with you guys, and I don't want to make this long. Robert's smoking a Jizzo. Yeah. So he is Lopaka on the Pakalolo. Dude, get me a grass skirt. I'm ready to come to Hawaii, dude. I got it. Aloha. All right. Treason. The crime of betraying one's country, especially by attempting to kill the sovereign or overthrow the government. All right. That's all good and well. And there are people guilty of that. But I think the much more conclusive and provable offense to most of these people that the Trump regime is taking down is sedition, which is conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or monarch. Yeah, treason and sedition. Both offenses the worst case scenario is death. It is. Now, I know that we live in a desensitized world. Guys, I do. We do. We've especially our kids and maybe the younger ones of you that watch this show have grown up, and we all have through movies and everything. It's all been designed to desensitize us. But what those two words mean, treason, sedition, really means that we're going to, in real life, not on a movie screen, not in a video game, we're going to see people die for what they've tried to do to our country. And it's going to happen. Now, I was on Twitter earlier and I got a video that's 13 minutes long that I did tweet out. And if you don't subscribe to Twitter or to me yet on Twitter, it's Mich, M-I-C-H _ Bill. Go there. You'll find that video. And as I've always said, if you don't do Twitter and you just want me to link the video to you, it's BILLMICH123 @gmail.com, BillMish123 @gmail.com. I will send it to you. 13 minutes of really what this whole Q movement is about and the power behind it. It has everything to do with what's going on right now in our country. And when you watch that video, it really makes clear what treason and sedition is, which is super duper real. It is. I think the crazy part about it is it's punishable by death. And that's what I wanted to talk about as far as treason and sedition. Now, that being said, what I didn't expect was some Q drops tonight. Apparently, there was an issue with a plane. And I won't spend but a minute on this, okay, guys? Because it's still getting broke down. But apparently, there was a flight going from San Francisco Airport to JFK, direct flight, no stops in between, and they lost communication with this plane. Now, there's a lot going on behind the scenes right now. Today was the deadline for Rod Rosenstein to give all the information, all the paperwork up as far as the IG report, everything that's going on that's about to be exposed. They just weren't going to do it. So the impeachment trials are going to start on Rod Rosenstein. We still don't know the full effect of what's going on with this plane that they've lost communication with, but Q says that the signal has been sent. The attempt was still made. It was averted. Do you believe it's a coincidence? Extreme rhetoric is being pushed while at the same time, Rod Rosenstein is on the brink of collapse. Rod Rosenstein must either comply with all document demands or face impeachment. It's a two-way failure. So what he means by that is that if Rod Rosenstein complies and gives the paperwork, he fails because it is a self-implication. In other words, he's going to oust himself if he gives it because he knows that Q has the goods. If he fails to comply, then he gets impeached anyway, i.e. removed from his position for sedition or treason. Why no Department of Justice text disclosed to the public yet? Rod Rosenstein to Loretta Lynch to HRC, Hillary Rodham Clinton. X to X, don't have that figured out yet. JC to LL, which is James Comey to Loretta Lynch, 247 times texting back and forth. That's relevant, Q says. And where are the James Comey and it says AM text messages? Could that be Angela Merkel? Don't know, but it's JC and AM. No, I'm sorry. That's not, I just came to me. That's Andrew McCabe. Where are the James Comey and Andrew McCabe text messages with a question mark? Gmail messages with a question mark. Burner phone messages, question mark. Coming soon. This is the great part about Q. Coming soon to a theater near you. PS/LP. Peter Strzok, Lisa Page. Texts are only scratching the surface. Now, anything that you've heard about the two lovers in the FBI, Q says it's only scratching the surface. Says threats of assassination with a question mark, which is implying that if that's only scratching the surface, then they have absolute threats of assassination that they already know about. Q says they are preparing for this by activating progressive activists. Keep that in mind, progressive activists. Red line, all capitalized, red line. Once the documents are supplied and viewed by the Senate and congressional leaders, and then in quotes, and the public, they, all capitalized, lose. It's here. It's here right now, guys. I know we've been talking about the setup. We've been talking about it. We've been talking about it leading up and building up and building up. This is huge. What's going on today? It's coming. Now, all in caps after that. Setup, period. Scam, period. FISA, period. FISA, FISA warrants. All caps. Abuse of exec powers. Abuse of executive powers. Where do those come from? Those come from the Oval Office. That's a direct link to Barack Hussein Obama, Barry Soetoro, married to a guy named Michael. Abuse of exec powers. Next line, all caps, illegal spying, already proven. All caps after that. Next line, frame. What were they trying to do to President Trump? Frame. Next line, all caps, insert assets. Guys, it's a witch hunt. We know it. And now, not in all caps, except halfway through it says prevent and then caps at all lower caps costs. Traitors, Q says, all in caps. They're all traitors. And guess what traitors get hung for? Treason and sedition. Traitors, all of them. All caps. They know we know. How big is that message? They know we know. You guys, it's about to get real. I mean, big time. Q is telling the people out here, they know that we know now. All the stuff I talked about with Maxine Waters, all of that, they know. Those are Hail Marys into the end zone, hoping that they can somehow cause everything to happen. Q comes out tonight with a post. They know, we know, all in caps. So there's no secrets. And then in caps again. But until the public knows, it is contained. So Q saying that everybody in the circle of Washington knows what's going on. But until it comes out to us, until me talking to you and 100 other people that break down Q code come out and start talking to us and me and you, that for now it's still contained. So look for this to come out over tonight, tomorrow, the next day. And then after that, I think it feels good because in caps it says the people have the power, which is how Q finishes all of the capitalized bullet points. Boom, 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 boom. The people have the power because, as we've said before, knowledge is power. Couple lines after that, not in caps. Q says MSM will portray progressive activists as a larger part of the pop. This is false. Now, understand that you are not the progressive activist. I am not the progressive activist. That is people like Antifa and the ilk of them who are going to be out there. They're the paid shills is what they are. I guess today we'll call them progressive activists. Q after that says no possibility of compromise. So we've that ship done sailed. And Q also says after that, do not underestimate our our resolve. So it's in good hands. Q's letting us know that they've got this. So don't underestimate the resolve when we see that these progressive activists are out there smashing out windows and trying to run amok and cause chaos. Don't worry. Don't underestimate their resolve. Q says, finally, we stand at the ready. Q. That's all I had tonight. I know it's late. It's a 37-minute stream. I just wanted to put it out here and let you guys know that everything we've talked about the last few nights is coming. And now we're starting to get the Q drops and everything to do with the plane and all of that. It all means something. So stay sharp, stay frosty. Watch out for yourself. I'm not saying anybody would directly target any one of you or me, but it doesn't mean that they're not going to target your area. Again, treat this as though they are cornered animals and they are taking their last gasps of air. And they're going to do anything and everything that they can to cause any kind of situation. It's like somebody that's drowning. If you're going out there to save them, you better damn well know that you're going out there and trying to help somebody, that the minute they grab onto you as something that is a life support that they could breathe with by shoving it down, they're going to do it. They're out of their mind at this point. And just know that that has a trickle effect, especially if you are in their direct path. So when I say stay frosty, stay alert. Watch out for yourself. Don't put yourself in harm's way if you can help it. And if you are in harm's way in any way, get low. Get real low. And get little. Get real little. It's coming, guys. It's coming sooner than any of us think. And 4th of July is right around the corner. Wouldn't it be neat if it turned into a double Independence Day or something? I mean, I'd look for some pretty heavy shit to be dropping here in the next, whatever. Why put a time frame on it? Soon. Anytime from the moment I shut this live stream off until the next 2 weeks, but I would say sooner rather than later. And it's coming. And yeah, that's all I had to say. So anyway, I'm sorry I took it so late. I'm sorry that it got to be now 40 minutes. Fantastic. Good to see you all. I love you. I see a couple of people popping in. Food Stamp and Adam, Marv. I just saw you now. Thanks for coming. I appreciate you guys. Hope you have a hell of a night and a fantastic Tuesday. I hope you have a great, great Tuesday. We'll talk again tomorrow night. So, Bill Mish, out.